Oh, and we're live. We're here. Welcome to Stripped Down Live. This week our guests are Nightmare and the Cat. I'm looking forward to tonight's performance. We've been spending time beforehand kind of chatting, and it's going to be amusing if nothing else. Tonight, Nightmare and the Cat are playing sort of stripped down. I mean, they have a bunch of instrumentation, but believe me, the records are even bigger than this. And what I love about them most, actually, is their use of instrumentation. And you'll understand that when you see the show, when you see the instruments they use. So please welcome to the studio, Nightmare and the Cat.
Sarah woke me up 4 in the morning. Look at the stars and what they are warning us. Went through my head and over the mountains. I was in my bed, my body sleeping with pins and needles. I never used my head. What were you thinking? Well, I'm just living free. Well, are you living free? We live through our mouths, and they yawn so far apart. I built you a house in the hollow of my heart. You're burning out, and soon it will be dark. But my fuel is in your doubt, my fear is in your spark. If you fly, I will fly. If you fall, I will fall. If you swim, I will swim. If you drown, I will drown. If you fly, I will fly. If you fall, I will fall. If you swim, I will swim. If you drown, I will drown. Since you woke me up, I gotta tell you, I feel so dead and it really hit the spot. Needed a slapping, and now I've had one. Well, since we're both awake, why don't we go out into the city, watch the people make every decision with tunnel vision can see. Nah, they can't see. The day is dead like us, forever wanting, shamelessly haunting another pick me up. And then you feel it, the pins and needles, you're free. Ah, yeah, we're all so free. We live through our words, and they aren't so hard to say. I built you a world, and I can take that world away. With hurricanes of violent thoughts, floods of alcohol. 'Cause my sympathy is loud with the fool who dwells within my skull. If you fly, I will fly. If you fall, I will fall. If you
This next song is called Desert Air.
I'm really sorry, I didn't think about this before. My name's Django. Hey, water for Django. Thanks.
Alright, you ready?
Okay.
1, 2.
I feel her breathing on my head. Maybe something in the desert air. Pavements glisten, but the stars are dead. Maybe secrets hiding in her hair. You introduced me to the desert air. I felt that he was too cold. I look around and there's no one here but myself. I take my place upon the tainted throne. Take me to the place I've been finding for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. Take me to the place I've been finding for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. You must be sitting on a gold mine to build a castle on the fall line. It sends a shiver up and down my spine. Oh, yeah, it does. The way we're drowning in our spoiled wine. I'm borrowed time. Take me to the place I've been planning for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. Take me to the place I've been planning for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. Thank you very much. That song's Desert Air. Can they see that? Is that what they see? No. Okay. Okay.
tune up my guitar. Sorry, internet peoples. Just give me a second.
How are you all doing out there? How's it sound? Okay, great. And are people like talking in? Amazing. Thank you, guys.
Are they doing that like star, like claps?
Really?
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much. This is
Yeah.
our first time playing.
I remember
live.
MSN Messenger. You'd be like, you know, removes shoes. The song's called The Missing Year.
I don't feel myself. This time it's not my health. Tore him apart again, 'cause I needed attention. I broke my heart yesterday just to make my way. You could have said it yourself, but don't communicate. I am the ghost of your reverie, but all you do is exercise me. A simple cog in your machinery, but you just won't recognize me. You just won't recognize me. You are the missing year that I just can't forget. Well, let a ration fear a modern suffragette. Well, hide your love away, a secret sanctuary. If you let me out of my cage, I promise I'll behave. I am the ghost of your reverie, but all you do is exercise me. A simple cog in your machinery, but you just won't recognize me. You just won't recognize me. Oh, ah, ooh,
guess. But are you an American citizen yet? No.
I don't know.
No.
I can.
You're not.
I can vote.
You can vote?
Yeah.
I can.
American? Well, I know you can vote.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Being
don't
the
think
American.
so.
Do you have an American passport?
No.
No. So
I do.
then you can't.
Cool.
Yeah. Sam can.
Sorry, I keep
shit.
showing off.
Have you
Have
voted?
I voted? No.
Oh shit.
I
See, you didn't exercise your right.
Oh yeah, I
To-
heard about
No.
that vote.
I exercised my left.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird election yesterday. Anyway, I wanted to start with kind of the background of the three of you getting together, because obviously I've known you, Django, and I've met Sam a few years ago. Claire recently met when the three of you have been together.
We formed.
Yeah, I mean, from your last band, Django and the Midnight Squires, it was
Yep.
Django James and the Midnight Squires, excuse
Yep.
me. And actually knew your solo music as when you were Samuel, as opposed to Sam.
Yeah.
And then after that, I know that all I knew at that point in time, I was actually a fan of your band, and then you moved to England. And was it kind of the same time that kind of Sam moved here, or were you here already?
I was already here when he moved over.
Right.
I actually, when I first
Not for
moved,
long though, right?
for a while, for like a year. When I first
Was it?
moved out here, I was involved with producing some tracks for Django and
Right.
James and the Midnight Squires.
He produced my first album.
No, I remember him producing. I just didn't know where it was recorded at that point.
Oh yeah, it
Oh,
was
okay.
recorded in the valley.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just that, like literally down the road from here.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Very nice
and
little
you and Claire were at school together.
Yeah. Brutal. Not
all the
Claire,
way through school, or same year in school?
No.
No.
Well, Claire finished the school, and
Yeah, I know you didn't.
dropped
Yes,
out.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a big to-do at the time. I bet.
Yeah, it was.
I remember going through that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the fact. Well, actually, no, it wasn't a big to-do because your parents actually were quite supportive. I thought at the
Yeah,
time.
they were. That's
And that you actually wanted to go and do something else.
yeah.
But so, how you and Claire met? I mean, I know you were also in a choir
Yeah,
thing
this
together.
is the
So is
funny
that how you
thing.
met?
Claire, what's your version of like meeting me in the choir?
I only met Django once or twice when we went to high school together. We had
Yeah.
different classes. We were in different grades.
Yeah.
So I really met him after we had left.
Right.
I didn't speak to anyone, and Claire didn't show up a lot.
Well, I remember you not speaking to anyone. I remember that part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Mm,
interesting.
large part.
I mean, no. I mean, it's interesting for me, just as someone who is a music lover, watching people grow up in music. And I mean, I guess that's specifically for you, Django, watching you go through the years of this very, I mean, you probably don't even remember meeting me,
Totally
but a
changing.
very dark teenager into someone who's quite comfortable with themselves, or at least most of the time. Maybe
Isn't
not so
that
much
all
in front of
teenagers though?
well,
My
I mean,
mum told
maybe,
me it
maybe
was.
not. No, not all teenagers. No. But the fact that I mean, I guess the fascination for me was how music enables you to do that a lot of the time, and whether that's the case for each of you in the sense that sometimes, especially if you happen to be musical, which we're all lucky enough to be, that becomes your voice. And suddenly that's, when you go through those kind of darker years of, no one understands me, no one gets it, and you use your music to exercise those emotions. I mean, is that still the case? I mean, was it the case for you? Was music something that brought you out of yourself?
Yeah, it very much was like a way to like voice my issues I had with my environment I was in and the school I was in. I really didn't think it helped my music very much. So I basically, to be completely out there and sound like a space cadet, I felt my spirit was dying.
Right.
And I had to escape. And so I escaped, and I started, writing lots of poetry and just only listening to my favorite people, because I'm as much a music lover, or even more so, than I am a musician.
Right. And I mean, and interesting you say, retreating into poetry, because lyrically, a lot of the stuff you do is incredibly poetic. I mean, did you spend a lot of time, like reading that kind of thing? Is that something you escaped into?
Sam helped me a lot with the lyrics. I mean, we both totally write,
it's like, yeah, we inspire each other with the lyrics and stuff. But I remember when I left school, I was like, shit, I've got to educate myself from now on. And I'm only going to educate myself in the areas that I'm interested in and that I'll actually grow from, because studying in algebra, I liked algebra, I did okay, surprisingly, compared to like history, but I pretty much, yeah. Sorry, I forgot the question.
No, I mean, it was about poetry, but it's interesting you went off onto education because there is a certain thing about education where, you know, or you must get to a certain age where you go, are these the things I'm really going to use in my life?
Yeah.
And are these things going to help me go forward? I mean, you at an
that
early age.
happened to me really early,
No,
yeah.
it happened to you at an early age where you said, I got to get out of school. I actually want to drop out because these things are not going to help me. I mean,
well, it's because I ran very much on instinct and impulse and like animalistic nature, like Iggy Pop and stuff. And then my school was really, really good at educating people, but they wanted to classically train. The music teacher wanted to like classically train me and stuff. Claire did that actually really well. Claire, you know how to read music, right?
I can read music, yes.
And I've noticed you can play guitar now.
Yes.
We'll see some of that.
Tonight was our guitar playing debut. Well, actually,
totally
Not
was.
yet. It will be, isn't it?
Second time.
I was supposed to have a debut too, but I forgot. But I was supposed to have a solo
you
one
actually
day.
didn't
You should
play
play the solo now, Django.
Okay, show me
I had
how
to
you
cover
play
for
it.
him,
Show
but
me.
yeah.
Yeah, you did. Thank you, by the way. So, maybe I shouldn't.
No, I just want to say, get a couple of notes. Come on.
Okay, I just got this, everyone.
Exactly, yes, everyone.
Okay, ready? You
don't have the pipe.
Guess what song this is from.
Not a clue.
I just played it for you, messenger.
Part-time lover.
Part-time lovers.
Sorry. Is that a hip hop song? Oh shit.
I know, it does sound like this. It does.
It does. It actually
much sound
has
like
a
Stevie
harmonica.
Wonder.
It has a little harmonica.
It is. It's
thing.
like Happy Birthday was probably written on that.
Yeah. I mean, it actually is.
Actually, that was probably.
And what I do find fascinating about you, and because I saw you play a little while ago, and you actually had a cello player playing with you that time, which was fun. But the fact that you are musically adept enough to mix things around. I mean, normally if you're playing as a band, it's different. Tonight you decided to do something. There's a few. Well, actually, I've noticed you used a few of these things before, but you're not averse, and even at a younger age, which I find fascinating, because normally when you're younger, you're kind of, this is what I do and I'm going to stick to that because I do that well, but you're not averse to sort of experimenting. And is that something that you consciously do as a way to grow, or is it just in your DNA, as they say?
I mean, I was in like a very standard, like you would say indie by numbers band, right? When in London for a long time.
They were good, though.
Indie by Numbers, that band?
I like them.
Yeah, Indie by Numbers is what we called. No, but I was happy just being a guitar player, and it was awesome, and I had a really great time. But when I moved over here and started doing my solo stuff, I was going like way overboard, you know, with when recording and like having trombones and just like string quartets, and I'm like, you know, triple, quadruple tracking them all and just going mad and having a really good time doing it. But then I think with Nightmare and the Cat, we've sort of found a happy medium where it's like.
Now, does this? I mean, does this come from your surroundings? I'm guessing it's a sort of a combination of all. I mean, your producer, Dan Burns, right? Who works with you, who had some interesting people here. Obviously he works with Karina Rand as well, and a few other people that are very interesting. And he tends to strip things apart a bit more and is a little more left field as far as production. Yeah. Not his engineering work. I mean, I know he's worked with like sort of the Cult and Diddy and different people. But his production work, which I listen to, is quite interesting in the fact he goes for a kind of raw but interesting sound. I mean, they're different sounds.
We dig Dan.
I think,
we love Dan.
Yeah, we love Dan. And recording that was like such an awesome experience because we really all got to chat about each song and everything. But I was gonna say, back to the indie band thing and the bringing in the fiddles and stuff for Sam. I think it was
trombones, but that's okay.
There were fiddles.
There were fiddles in
There
there.
were fiddles.
I didn't mention them, but there were fiddles.
There were
Okay.
a lot.
Were they fiddles
There was
or
a lot-
violins? Because
there
they're
was-
very different.
There was a lot of fiddling about.
Okay.
There was.
But I mean, I think it's also a lot to do with like London and LA. Not the stereotypical like London music, but when you get to LA, there's so many musicians and so like, and they all are like can play songs like that. Like in London, we're used to like, you know, like, can you play guitar? Oh yeah, I can play guitar. Let's go to the pub. And then you go back to their house and they can't play guitar.
But they
And,
look
like,
good.
They look alright. And I think, yeah, maybe when you came to LA, there was just so much, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I started listening to quite different music as well.
Yeah.
I got
that's true.
a lot more into folk music and
Yeah.
that kind of the instruments that kind of music can, you know, bring about.
Yeah.
So
And we're still like just listening to new music and like loving like, you know, like we love Leonard Cohen, so maybe
Right.
some of our songs and lyrics might be references.
No, I mean
to
there
him.
certainly is a certain songwriting technique you have, and it's interesting because you know when you start listening to certain songs and you try and there's normally a theme. I mean, I've been through this on other shows of there's normally some kind of theme, and be that musical or lyrical. In your case, I think both, which is there's a certain tension and always release. There's
Yeah.
a certain I don't quite
yeah.
I
It's
really
always
want to
like
do
a-
this, and now I can do
it's
it.
like an ABC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of what I love about it. I mean, there's always a release at the end. I
Mm.
mean, you know, as you can tell, I'm a kind of a fan. But there's always that. I mean, one, the melody is there, but then once you get caught in the melody of what you do, there's like, yeah, I'm going to throw some tension in now.
Yeah.
There's something, and I mean, you know, musically, not just lyrically. I mean, the lyrics obviously they run through a song anyway, so they, you know, they're
Yeah,
going to
of
be something that you can't. There's a musical tension which is very prevalent in what you do. Which I mean, I think a lot of the time comes from Sam's guitar playing, where he's like, okay, that's too much nice stuff now. I want to go
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
I mean, all my favorite guitarists are the ones who play the stupidest guitar solos. Not as in like
Adrian Belew, kind of.
Oh,
like
I hate
Graham
Shredder.
Coxon, you know,
Right.
from Blur. Like
Yeah.
he's like an amazing guitarist technically, but when he does a guitar solo, it's just like. Bong.
Yeah.
Right. No, that was. I mean, that's what I loved about
disjointed.
Adrian Belew, who was one of my favorite guitarists, who played on the Scary Monsters album for David Bowie.
yeah.
And Discipline, King Crimson stuff, but it was always like left field, weird kind of. Well, Robert Fripp's another one, but Adrian Belew to me was the kind of quirkier one.
Yeah,
of
I
the
like to
two of
call
them.
it a disjointed blues. I might have heard that somewhere and picked it up. But like, yeah, it's kind of like blues guitar without some of the notes or something. Like a blues solo, just missing a
Right.
few notes.
That's
That probably only makes sense to me.
It's kind
there's
of
a lot of things that only
Yeah.
make
Does that
sense
make
to you.
sense?
yeah, that's kind of rock music in general.
Is that?
Yeah. It's how to
I
create
just got
tension
into
with
rock
chords.
music.
You know. I mean, but that's the interesting side musically for me is someone that actually can create that tension and know where to release it into a major chord and just.
Yeah. But
And now
Morrissey,
we're often traveling, you know.
yeah. Morrissey does that lyrically as well, I think.
Well, Morrissey's just kind of dark lyrically. He doesn't have the same release as you do. He doesn't actually get to the happy place.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
the
most
happy
of the time.
place is like, the happy place is always like,
The happy place is in the music.
Well, no, actually, I gotta,
Yeah,
well,
actually,
actually, I got to say,
it's-
your
it's
happy place is
suppressing.
normally, I'm happy, but do I really want to be here? But I mean, that's
there?
also, but there is. That's that kind of
guitar.
that kind of release. I mean, there are certain, there are certain lyrics you write where you're not. I mean, to be honest, it sounds like you're not convinced about where you want to go, and I think that's more to do with maybe the music industry as a whole. I mean, I don't know, that's sort of a separate conversation, but
That is
which we could get into,
yeah.
which is, I mean, because you've not made a record yet, for one. I mean, and not that there's anything called a record anymore. But
That's exactly what I've been saying since I was like 16.
yeah, I mean, there are no albums.
That's so
They don't
true.
kind of exist. So how, you know, once you form is like, and it's interesting to me, is how you are deciding or how you're planning to move ahead with where, you know, musically with what you're doing. I mean, I know you're recording with Dan. I think you're going to release an EP soon, I think.
Yeah, we actually.
Yeah. We recorded it. I mean, As soon as we can get our friend Gary Baseman, who does our artwork,
Oh my God.
to sit still for a minute.
Yeah, Gary Baseman.
Shall I put that up?
Yeah, do it.
Should we explain Gary to people who
Okay.
even know? Because I
You
forgot to
can't
put
explain
Gary's.
Gary.
I forgot to put Gary's.
Gary's inexplicable.
Here, is
Yeah.
there a, yeah, there we go. And Claire actually silk screened this by hand. We kind of, Gary wasn't really like, well, we're still asking for him to do the EP cover, so once he designed that, we kind of just
He'll get round to it.
like silk screened it and then showed it to him.
He's gallivanting
like,
around.
okay.
He's a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Mexico.
It's not.
No, I
he
actually,
just got
because
that.
I follow him on Twitter, he seems to pop around
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of places.
He just
He
does
is
so much
so
cool
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, as an
He's
artist, he's
really-
amazing.
yeah.
I mean, as an
Yeah.
illustrator, he's pretty stunning. I mean, I wanted to do that purely because I forgot with Karina's poster to put Gary
Oh,
Baseman.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
did
was
a poster for
considering
Karina.
bringing one because I have one of the posters.
Right, which is also amazing.
Yeah, really cool.
But artistically, I mean, do you find that you get into the visual side and the musical side as well? Because now it's not just about the music. I mean, now there's no standard record industry. There's no record, well, there are record companies, but who wants to be with them? But there's no standard record industry. So the balance of visuals and everything else, it's I mean, a lot of it is to do with social media. So the visuals matter a lot. I mean, I'm sort of, the thread is going to the little videos you've made, which I love, that Kristen Burns did, who actually filmed them, which are basically you in various little sort of strange places playing different things. No, but I love them, and in their simplicity and the sort of placement of them. And
We haven't made any in a while, actually. Those were pretty old.
although I like the one, I can't remember what song it is. Actually, I think it's the one called Untitled, isn't it? Which, because you've decided you don't like the title.
Yeah.
Which was on the iPhone. On the iPhone filmed
I like
in a
that
dark
one
room. I love
too.
that.
No
with,
one watched
with
that
Claire
one.
playing a
one?
wooden spoon and a cake tin.
Yeah.
Oh, I
think.
love that.
Yeah.
That was in their old apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I like
was
that one
so
too.
good.
No one watched that one.
yeah. I
was
mean, that was
disappointed.
actually.
It's pretty dark and blurry. I can't.
Well, no, there was. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, for anyone, by the way, if wherever a camera is, if you go on YouTube and just search "Nightmare and the Cat," there are all these cool little videos they've made. They're all recorded live. I mean, this is the three of them. Or sometimes just you and there's a couple with just you and Sam.
They're great.
Thank you, Elaine. Elaine gives a thumbs up.
Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you.
And they're normally like, I mean, one is sort of like strolling up a hill with you playing guitar, 3 vocals, and Claire playing a couple of twigs. Or actually sticks. They're bigger than twigs.
Found objects.
Then you took the
Sticks.
sticks into a cage and filmed another one. Then you're in a graffitied kind of walled corner. I don't know where that was.
We
crack
found
den.
it's the old zoo in Griffith Park, but all the animal cages are open
Oh, right.
and
So
completely covered in.
so it's like basically just vocals, guitar, and you playing a toy piano at that
When
point.
was the zoo
Yeah.
made again?
ages ago.
In like the 30s or something. There's this abandoned zoo and you can just crawl through the cages and find weird stuff.
Yeah, it was very strange, the little setting, and very dark, but it visually interesting.
The idea originally was just to put up some kind of, because we hadn't had any recording, so we couldn't make a music video.
Yeah.
And then when we made like a live video, it was just so organic and nice to just present ourselves as this like, just almost like a.
I mean, I kind of like the freedom, I've got to say. I mean,
The
I like
freedom,
the wind
that's
sound
kind of
across
what
the
it
microphone. I actually
Yeah.
like all that, and the fact that it's so kind of naked and wonderful.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Lo-fi.
With
People spend
the-
so much time like on those small videos with like production.
Which
sound
tells you
and-
nothing about the personality
yeah,
of the band.
exactly.
It tells you
Exactly.
something about the personality of the director. That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And there are some
Yeah.
amazing videos with really bad music, and they're doing really well.
So we're voting for the sort of very lo-fi videos with just good music.
I mean, I also enjoy really high production videos that
Yeah.
have decent music
Yeah.
attached to them. but-
Decent, yeah.
that's true.
I mean, high production videos with bad music, I'm not such a fan
Well,
of.
they're
but-
just if it's an original and inspiring
Yeah.
video or song, we're going to
Yeah.
respond to it.
But I mean, to me, if it captures a mood, I mean, that's why I like the little iPhone, dark, grainy,
Yeah.
no light, and it's like, is that Claire back there playing a wooden spoon on a cake tin?
Yeah.
I think it is, you
Yeah.
know. So that kind of side I find
That was
interesting.
probably about our 3rd video or something. to
Yeah.
say.
I liked the little amp on the belt buckle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Doing the
Wow.
manual
and
tremolo.
you had a little like one shaky thing. whatever that was.
That's broken now.
One shaky thing. I don't know what the shaky thing was. We should get on to some more music because we're gonna be, not that we actually ever run out of time on this show. We can carry on talking for as long as we want.
Let's do that after.
But so let's come back with a couple more songs. We'll do a couple more songs, then we'll come back and chat. I'll actually take questions from the chat room, and if you want to tweet in questions, we're at Strip Live. So if you want to tweet your questions, send them via the chat room. We'll throw them at the, I was going to say, which is the guys, but that was so, I was like, oh my God. It's not the guys, it's the guys and... Yeah, I know.
Pretty cool.
But guys seems to be such a generalization.
Okay.
Right?
The musician folk.
Please welcome back Nightmare and the Cat people.
Broken every rebel, but you couldn't break a bill. You revel in your nightmares and appreciate the still. No one really knows you, but you wanna hear your name. What's wrong now, little poet? You've only got yourself to blame, because you can't live off of love, not new or old anymore. The pavements hold the cracks that you kissed yesterday, but today is walking too fast. You can't give them the time of day. So ring, little poet, yeah, ring about your reign, until your bones are dried out by the harsher sun of day, because you can't live off love, not new or old anymore. I'm being sunburned through your windows, and I gladly lick your floor. I'm just saying, little poet, each day I love you more, and I won't cry when the clouds burst. I will stick my tongue out proud and taste November's rain, which happens to be sour again. See how you have tortured everyone who cares. Our hearts are in our hands now, and you get all the stares, bleeding out the answers to questions you are scared to ask for protection or a helping hand to lend. But then dedication, it ain't the same as protection. Yeah, how you feel about that? You're so good at pointing fingers, I'm backing out of corners, darting poison with your tongue. You the money or the man? Award shows in your mirror, carelessness, not fear, I swear. And still I'm scolded through your windows, and I gladly lick your floor. I'm just saying a little daydream. Each night I love you more, and I won't cry when the sun bursts. I will stick my head up proud and taste November's rain, which happens to be sour. It just happens to be sour. Ah, yeah, it just happens to be sour again.
Thank you very much.
Just got to change guitar.
Should we ask a question? I see lots of questions coming in.
Ask yourself a question.
How did you come up with your name? Claire will never tell. Which song?
Cool. Song's called Forgive Me, Sonny. Sonny's not a real person. Oh, I need to tune that, you know. Hold on, give me a second.
Oops.
It's very unprofessional of me. But I have good news. I brought with me to the studio 80s trivia cards. And we're going to do them. I'm going to challenge Curt later on.
Ooh, this is going to be tough. It's going to be a long night.
I was born in the 80s. Curt lived in the 80s. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right.
Sonny is arriving on a white unicorn. His garments are expensive yet predictably torn. Could this be the moment we've been waiting for all along? He speaks of consequences as he conquers the room, and everybody's weeping while the young boy croons. Underneath the willows we were bending spoons until dawn. But if you take away his crown, see he's hurting. See he's hurting. I know I should have been around when you were crying out, crying out. Forgive me, Sonny. Take me through a wormhole and into your realm, so I may gain perspective on the dreams that you sell. Then I'll see you heaven and we'll fear holy hell. All is one. Put me in your pocket and I'll fish for some change. We'll pay the ugly pusher man, we'll send him away. Yeah, I would do most anything to say that you stay for the day. Behind his smile, you see he's tired, so goddamn tired. I know I could have stayed a while when you were crying out. Oh, Sonny, we're gonna build a ladder to the sun, and we will climb to heaven one by one. We're gonna build a ladder to to the sun, and we will climb to heaven one by one.
So you already mentioned the circus. Actually, to be honest, by you playing with the circus, but the interesting part of that was because I came to see you at the Hotel Cafe, and we had sort of talked. I mean, we had a conversation for a few minutes, and you said you actually been to circus school or something in. I mean, was that back in England? I mean, it was here.
Yeah.
Something you just decided you were going to go do.
I was really like, I need to get in shape. And I wouldn't ever go running, especially not in the desert, because that will dry my vocals out. No, I'm kidding, because it's really boring. And I love hanging off
You're
things.
talking to me, I'm a runner, but okay.
Oh.
It's not boring to me. It depends on your mentality. Me, it's like...
Do you listen to music?
No, I can't, because that interrupts me.
Do you have a destination?
It's like meditation. It's a rhythmic meditation to me. I tend to zone out completely when I'm running.
That's
but
actually
some
really
people
cool.
can't do it.
That's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
No,
you wear, like,
dangerous is wearing
colourful
headphones.
clothes when you're
Dangerous
running.
is wearing headphones, because I could get, I run on Mulholland, so I could get,
shit.
that's why I don't wear headphones either. But
Wow.
it's a rhythmic thing. But anyway, back to the circus.
Back to the circus.
So you decided to do it to get fit.
Yeah, actually, I decided to take trapeze classes just to get fit. And then it turned out I had like a knack for the trapeze, naturally.
If we had one, we could.
Yeah, if you had one, I'd sit on it.
You just have to take his word for it.
Basically.
It's true, I've seen him.
I'm not sure I believe
He's really
it.
He is-
so good
he's
at
pretty
it.
good.
Really?
Thanks.
And so, but you did the circus thing, which actually I was away from, because I was away for, but you played at the Fall Theatre here.
Yeah.
And they did a circus thing to your music.
Yeah, basically, I was the local circus hall, and the owner of the
I've been
circus-
called worse, so it's okay.
Okay, good. Now I got it out in the open.
Yeah.
So, my teachers were like, Django, you're into music, do you know any DJs? And I was like, no, I don't know any DJs at all. And I only really listen to old music anyway, so. And then I was like, but I have a band, and we're called Nightmare and the Cat. And then they listened to us, and I think because, we have quite a strange sound, and we use our dynamics a lot.
Yeah.
And harmonies. It really just turned into this amazing collaboration. It was so fun.
Are you going to do more stuff with them?
Yeah, next week we've
Yeah.
got.
Oh, next week?
Yeah.
You have another
but-
show?
I reckon they chose us because it was convenient, but now they like us.
No, they actually, okay.
Well, I was there when they. You know what? No.
Having a brotherly disagreement here. Yeah.
It's true, I wasn't there.
You weren't
Yeah.
there.
I wasn't
Sam
there.
isn't into the whole trapeze thing.
No, I had one lesson. I liked it.
Oh, you actually had a lesson?
Yeah,
You did.
I did
And,
like it. I enjoyed it.
Claire?
I haven't had my lesson yet. I've been promised a lesson. I'm waiting for it.
You gotta book it.
Alright.
You gotta go.
But you are going to do another show. Actually, that's one thing before I completely forget about any upcoming things you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to do another one with
We've
the
got
circus?
this mad plan, basically.
Okay.
It should be on the
I have a plan.
21st
I
or
have
the
a cunning
22nd.
plan.
Yeah.
It's on.
A cunting
That's
plan.
helpful. The 21st or the 22nd?
Both.
Oh, it's going to be 21st and 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically,
Of November.
Gary Baseman's going to be involved.
Right.
The owner of the circus offered to strap him into a harness and have buckets of paint all around him, and then we're going to have a camera filming what he's playing. I just think his face is going to go red after ages, because if he has to okay, so
He's painting upside down.
not upside down, just lying flat. Ooh shit. Lying flat in a harness.
Right.
But so he's going to be doing that, and that's going to project either on top of us or somewhere.
Don't give it away.
Oh shit.
But where is it? I mean, you don't actually have to give it away, because I'm dying to know now where this is.
Okay.
So at least I can come.
He's like that. He always spoils the ends of movies.
Right.
No, I get excited and stuff.
This is the joy of songwriting with him, is he can't say, here's the chorus.
Yeah.
So when? 21st, 22nd of November.
On Hollywood,
Oh, so
in their
Yeah.
own space. It's
Hollywood
not,
and
Oh,
Wilton.
really?
It's behind this marijuana shop called Temple.
Liberty Bell Temple.
Liberty Bell Temple. There's no, you can't see
behind the marijuana shop.
I mean, it's only
we'll have an
the only way
artist
to find
hanging in
it.
a sort of thing, painting.
Well, that's where the circus school is. It's in the school.
Okay.
It's legit.
So this is what I find kind of interesting, that this is going to be something different. But again, mixing the sort of music with the visual side.
I mean,
of
it just
everything
worked out perfectly because they have like these mats that absorb all the sound inside there.
Right.
And it makes it really warm. And then their equipment is like Cirque du Soleil.
Now, will it be open? I mean, open to the public?
Yeah.
People can come.
It's
You'll be telling people about it at some point.
Yeah.
See, I haven't read about it yet.
They reckon it's about 300 capacity.
Right.
We'll see.
I mean, at the Ford we had about 900 people.
Right.
Which was like the biggest show I've ever played in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I get a feeling
It
you'll be
was
playing bigger at
shocking.
some point. So get used to that. What I did before I get to questions, actually, I wanted to get to Claire, because I never get to sort of Claire's just sort of sitting there like, yes, what? She's like, now she's scared of me. Actually, before I get to questions, I've also got to do the quiz with Sam, apparently. We'll throw a couple in.
No, we should all do the quiz. It shouldn't just be me and you.
Okay. I
Can
thought
I
that was
read
like a
everybody?
throwdown.
Can I read the questions?
You can read the questions and we'll take the people over there. But is it true that you actually didn't particularly want to perform until Sam persuaded you to perform? I mean, you, to be honest, out of most, you seem kind of comfortable there. But is that like...
Well, that's recent.
That you're now
my
comfortable?
comfort there, yeah.
Because, I mean, I've heard Sam say that you really just didn't want to perform. You were nervous about it.
No,
or
I did want to. I'm just
You did, you
shy.
just were-
It's hard.
right.
It's way harder than people make it look sometimes. Like, Django makes it look so easy, and then it's not. It's not easy.
That's because he's a circus whore?
Yeah.
Local circus whore, yeah.
Local circus hall.
I don't sleep with the circus teachers. I just can't choose what circus
which
instrument
one
I
you
want to
want.
use.
Okay.
Gosh,
But
damn
now,
it.
but now are you getting more comfortable? I mean, you seem comfortable because, but it adds to the whole thing. It's like the sort of, and because your voice happens to be ethereal as well. We're talking about Claire now, by the way, Django.
I want to talk about Claire.
I mean, because your voice. I mean, the actual way that you are on stage suits it because you're. It's like this sort of quieter person in the back, but your voice, which no one realizes, and it's again another musical thing, which you don't realize, and if people watch the videos on YouTube, how much your voice actually fills things out. You actually have quite, even though it's ethereal sounding, quite a big voice. It does fill out a lot of areas musically, that and it wouldn't sound the same otherwise. So are you getting more comfortable with that now, or dealing with that? Or I can tell you're not very comfortable with compliments, that's for sure.
No, I'm much more comfortable with it actually now. I really like being on stage and performing. But it took, I think, like our big circus show for me to
That was it?
get really
the
nervous
circus
beforehand
point,
and like almost vomit and then do it, and now I'm fine.
So now there's no more.
I think I'm
Nearly
okay.
gone.
Yeah.
You think you're fine.
I think I'm fine. We'll have to see.
And back to Django.
I just wanted to say, when they first started dating, Sam didn't even... Oh, they're dating, by the way.
Yeah, they're dating, by the way.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sam and Django are brothers, just in case you didn't know the
Yeah.
whole incestual thing.
F-Lo family, a fire.
Django's our son.
But I was telling Sam that Claire had an amazing voice.
Who was?
She does.
I didn't know who she was. He was like,
True.
there's this chick called Claire AC, man. Like, you guys would be perfect together. I was like, cool, like, hook it up. He was like, I don't have her number. I'm not her friend. I was like, cool, okay, well. It all came together in the end, so you were right.
Here you go.
Thank
You can
you,
throw us
Django.
a couple of questions. We'll do a
I'm
couple.
psychic.
I haven't looked, I promise, and I haven't put the top cards on the top.
Okay.
They can't look either.
No, I haven't looked.
I want to look.
Should we
You
get
really,
a
I mean,
shuffler?
did you honestly
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that I would know anything about the era I kind of grew up in?
No, I mean, I realised that you were probably having a lot of fun.
Don't know this.
By the way, Yuko,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
we're
too much to
totally
actually
going
pay
to tour in
attention to anything
Japan.
I
you'll
love
be
Yuko.
there.
We love you.
We
Yuko.
love you, Yuko.
Oh yes, your friend
really-
Yuko. She was the
we
one
really
who
love you.
tweeted in when you were playing with Karina.
That's true.
Oh, that's amazing.
Through the thick and thin.
You don't get to
Yeah,
pick the
yeah, that's a
question,
good one.
Django.
This is
Just
an
listen
This is
awesome
a
to
really
it.
good one.
Okay, in Never Too Much by Luther Vandross, how many
God,
times
no.
does he say too much?
In the whole song.
Yes.
Oh, like anyone.
I've got
Never
options.
too much,
Yeah.
never
too
much, you-
never too much, never too much.
If you want.
I mean,
Clue.
for one, he's one up on me because he knows
That's so
himself.
funny that he's counting.
Oh, come on.
Bam, bam. It's got like a really good slap
That's a
bass
bass
line
slap.
in it.
Yeah, I presume that was a slap bass.
Well, shall I give you an option? You guys can
give them the option.
Is it multiple
I'll say
choice?
16 then.
Oh, 32,
It was a multiple.
Multiple choice.
17, or 23.
32, 17 or 23.
I got to go for the even number in a song, wouldn't you think? Being rhythmic. I mean, I would say, but it is Luther.
Luther.
That was really difficult with the
Arrhythmic.
circus, by the way, when we perform with them. Sorry, it's freaking hard. You have to be in time with the acrobatics, and it's like fucks up.
Well, otherwise
Yeah.
you fall. There's the kicker.
They fall. We just play.
And Luther Vandross could never have done it.
Never.
My guess is
Never.
32, by the way.
I'll go for the 23.
17.
Ah,
You're so close
arrhythmic,
with
like I said.
16.
I know.
I was one off with 16. So, you know.
Damn. Okay, 0
That was
points for
difficult,
y'all.
though. That was
Oh, should we all be on teams?
Like anyone.
No,
No,
it's
just
a
ask another question. It's actually
Yeah,
me
okay,
against Sam,
good.
I feel.
Yeah, I feel that too. Name 2 of the 3 artists which released a song called "The Power of Love" in the 80s.
so
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Huey Lewis in the news.
That's 2.
Oh,
I agree with him with Huey Lewis in the news.
can you do that?
That's the one from Back to the Future.
This is like, never mind the buzz
Power
cut.
of Love was
Power of love.
who else? Who's the third one then? Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Or was no Power of Love? It was Frankie, right?
Was Frankie Goes to Hollywood? Yeah, but
and,
there's one
and
more.
Huey Lewis
Yeah.
and one more.
Well, Julie said Celine Dion. No.
It's a good guess, though.
In the 90s, I think, though. That version.
Was it,
Yeah. Anyone?
We had a 90s deck.
Third one.
Well, Brett.
We got dead. No, I know that wasn't the case.
Jennifer Rush. Was
Jennifer
it?
Rush. Yeah, that's too American.
Oh
please.
man, how did I not get that?
Okay, last one before we get to questions. And other oh no, you get to pick them. Right.
Claire should read out the next one.
Okay.
Okay, in Michael Jackson's song Billie Jean, who is he singing about?
A stalker.
You bastard.
Really?
Yeah.
We've had this one before.
Because I wanted to know.
Oh, no, I want another one. I want another one.
played
I
it
want another
before.
one. You've played this before.
I thought it was about a
You're
girlfriend.
Well, I thought it was about. Well, I wouldn't have guessed stalker. I would have thought some nutcase who thought she had his baby. But yeah,
Yeah, but
Stalker.
wouldn't that be?
I guess stalker.
Yeah.
I
makes
suppose.
sense.
Did he?
Okay, fair enough. We should get to some questions. Do you
Yeah,
want- let's get some
let's go,
questions
man,
online.
yeah.
By the way. Okay, and Yuko, talking of whom?
Yuko.
Do you plan on touring in Japan?
Yes.
One day.
Next question.
Yes. Just not saying
One day,
when.
but just for you, Yuko.
They're apparently playing just a show for Yuko. It's called the show for Yuko.
Do you
Do you know? Do you do your own producing,
Producing.
mixing? Well,
producing?
I mean,
I mean, there's a sort of yes and no. You work with Dan, right?
yeah, we worked
Yeah.
with, we recorded our EP with Dan, who produced it and mixed it. But
I mean,
Like-
I would think arrangements are done
Yeah,
while before then.
arrangements are the most. But I mean, we
I
produce,
guess.
we self-produce all our demos and record them all ourselves and stuff.
On
Like,
GarageBand.
just on GarageBand, and they sound pretty damn good. I have
Sam
to say.
is a GarageBand
He's
wizard.
master, yeah.
Master, GarageBand master. We should release.
If anyone from
GarageBand.
Apple is watching, you should let me.
Like
Try
they
and
pay anyone
try
to do
and-
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We should be so. I mean, we're so lucky just to
Call me Blake.
have them invent GarageBand for us.
Well, I mean, Apple, you know, we're lucky to have them full stop. It'd be nice if they paid us for things. But
Yeah.
anyway, call me Blake. Where? I was going to say where so? Where so they want to go? Yeah, thanks, Elaine. By the way, you know, we don't have our normal auto cue.
Where do we want to go?
Thanks, Elaine.
with
Where do you want to
them?
go with your music and what direction?
Straight to the bank.
Be careful what you wish for, is all I can say on that one. But
I'd say we all have such different like influences, but we also love the same music, and we all like when we're in our car listening to different music. So I mean,
do you want me to give you the correct answer, by the way? Somewhat creative.
Whoa.
Correct answer.
creative.
An original.
Yeah. Well, of
You
course.
should let Claire answer this.
Okay. Fuck.
No, I mean it's because people, you do get asked a lot of things, and you don't know where you're going with music. I mean, the fact is, it tends to find you, doesn't it? I mean,
well, the music is an extension of our self-expression, so we don't know
as you're growing
going.
up, and you never stop growing up.
Yeah.
So I've discovered. I wish I would, but
and discovering new things.
Yeah, you always discover new things and new ways of doing things. So you never know where the music's going. But that's why I say creative is the only generic answer I can think of.
I hope that we can have a career which allows us to do sort of what we want. As like, I mean, it's a bit of an obvious band to say, but Radiohead, look at them. They do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to say, it's weird. I was having this discussion on someone else's show a while ago, and I was actually being interviewed. And people do say Radiohead, and a lot of bands today that are really forging their way creatively, independently, even though Radiohead are actually signed to EMI, but
not anymore.
Well, not now, but they were. But they got their way because they were powerful enough. But Annie DeFranco was doing it long time before anyone. And managed to forge her way. It was always, you were able to do it, it just meant a lot more work.
Yeah.
And now you don't have really the option. I mean, do you sign? I mean, for you, do you think you would sign with the record company, or do you think you would continue along your path and do what you do and see what happens?
I think we would go, I think we would sign with a label if it suited our best interests. Because if a label came along and offered us creative freedom and the ability to tour and promote our records and everything, without I don't think labels can actually completely rape artists as they used to.
No, they can't,
because people are wiser
obviously.
Now.
Well, and also they had so
to
much power before. They had the power of retail. They had the power of radio.
But also
they had the power of recording, because you need that much money to record. As you were talking about GarageBand, you don't need that anymore. I mean, you actually can record yourself with no money.
You can make videos by yourself.
And you don't really necessarily need a label, you just kind of need a budget, in order to... Because labels are extensions of giant companies, usually.
Well, the big ones are. There are actually some really good independent
ones, of course. But I mean, our priority wouldn't be to sign to a label. I think my priority is just to play to hundreds of people and get them equally as inspired as I am by my favorite musicians ever. That's all I want.
Yeah. What we need is an investor.
And it's a good goal, I guess.
We need a show.
An investor.
I just came up with an idea for a great show.
We need a...
Dragon's Den? I know they don't have that in the States. I don't... They do? Oh, Dragon's Den.
Shark Tank or something.
Shark Tank?
So Dragon's Den, it's a show where the people come up...
they come up and they try and sell their goods.
They come up with their inventions or their... We need to have that, but with bands. So it'd be
isn't that in England with Alan Sugar or something? Is that
Sir Alan Sugar, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not like X Factor, because it would be like the businessmen instead of Simon Cowell.
I will
and Paul
invest
Abdul
in
sitting
you.
There. They'd be Alan
judging
Sugar.
you on whether your music is good or not. They would.
You'd have Donald Trump. You'd have Donald Trump and Alan Sugar and all them sitting there with huge wads of cash.
Right.
And then we'd have to come and perform.
But then you'd have to put a different hat on, as how you tell why is your music more good.
That's what I mean. Well, we'd have to perform.
Well, but that's not going to tell me anything. I mean, how does it appeal to the sea? I mean, it's interesting because there are no rules anymore. You may have to gear yourself to that. It's like, how do you sell yourself
I think
to those investors?
I think it sounds like a winning show to me. Anyone?
Yeah, it would
I
be
think
an
the winning
awesome
show is actually how to coach people as to how to sell themselves. I mean, in the sense of, these are people that know nothing about music. How would you convince them to invest in your music? I mean, it's kind of hard because...
Well, we got this one right here.
There is.
We got the goods. So
and you got a circus hall with it.
Yeah, circus hall.
Hey, and damn proud of it.
Yeah.
Katie Volts, I'm guessing. How do we get those Nightmare and the Cat bracelets, which Django is so proud of?
Where are you from?
You have to come to our shows.
Where do they go? You've taken them off.
No.
Do you want to slap one on me? Because you were going to slap one on me at some point.
See him in action.
Because Django just wants to slap me, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest thing?
Yeah. I
remember those? That was our friend Brett's innovation.
Yeah, Brett. Who also... I have to give him credit for opening the door to the entire... well, I'm not that internet savvy.
You're not?
No, not at all. And he's kind of showed us the whole... Or showed me and us, right? The whole YouTube phenomenon. The whole YouTube phenomenon and how you can just directly connect to your audience, and that's really
Well, but that's where music is now, which I think is a
Yeah.
joy, isn't it? I mean, obviously, if you're not that internet savvy, then I'll talk to Sandra.
okay.
But isn't that the joy of it? The fact that you have no middleman anymore, the fact that there is no one in between you and your
Yeah.
audience. I mean, for me, the idea of doing shows like this is really to get to know the people behind the music, and that way you understand the music more. Before, music was always sanitized; it was sort of ready for use, and we will image you in this certain way, and that's
Yeah.
what you will look like, and this is what
Kind
you
of
should talk about.
spoon-fed.
This is what you should talk about. You shouldn't talk about this, and you should talk about
I think
this.
it's a double-edged sword, in a way, because it's like, on one hand,
It
it's
depends
like,
how good you are.
yeah. On one hand, that's what I'm saying. On one hand, it's like wicked. There's no filter, and on the other hand, it's like shit. There's no filter. Like, like we're
Well, it
saying
just
so
means
much
you have to
rubbish.
be more interesting and more creative to,
Yeah, yeah.
to rise above,
Yeah.
you know, the amount of
I really like it because it's opened the whole door to, you know, you really can't, like with our YouTube videos, you can't say that that's fake because that is all us heart and soul there.
well, it was
We wrote all
live
the
of you
songs, it
in
was
one
live.
take.
Exactly.
Done. Yeah.
And there are lots of artists who actually can't do that and they're really successful. And it's a
Yeah.
bit
So don't
like-
call us fake haters.
Yeah.
Have people called you that?
No, sorry,
Apart
I was
from the
just,
guy
I was
from the
just getting a
Huffington
bit of
Post,
a Jersey
but-
Shore
Oh, we won't get into
moment
him.
in there.
I promise not to talk about him.
But that wasn't
But-
an appropriate thank you to Brett because he really has done like
Yes,
everything
Brett,
for us.
who's-
So thank you so
right here.
Someone
so
should
much.
turn
He's
the
actually,
camera on,
actually,
Brett.
if we could get a camera on Brett,
He's-
because
no,
no,
you
I want
keep
the
my
hat
crown
back
on
No,
right
I want the
now.
crown
It's
back on.
classy.
I'm letting
Brett
him
is
wear my
wearing the
crown.
crown.
You wear it.
Brett is wearing the crown over there because he looks
It's
so
all
good
Brett.
with the crown.
Yeah, Brett!
He's the cat.
AKA the steak.
Yeah. With the nightmares, he's the cat.
Basically.
Before we should finish up this one. I know we're sort of running out of time. I'm presuming.
We have more songs, right?
Sorry,
We have more songs, right?
you have one more song.
Okay.
You have
thank
one more song. I would like to. I would love for you to have done more than that. But
We need to write them first.
no, you actually do have more and more. I like as well. I was, but that's okay. We can always invite you back, which is always good. Which is actually, actually, I'll ask one more from here. But one more question from me. You all come from like musical families. Sounds like musical chairs, doesn't it? But and they're all involved in the industry some way, shape, or form. But did that like turn you on or put you off music? And to me, it's sort of an interesting thing knowing your backgrounds and everything else. Did you feel like you were expected to do this, or did you sort of rebel against it, as kids do rebel against their parents, or was it, or do you feel that there is something in the sort of DNA which makes you kind of want to make music? Or is it is one of those things you just feel it's in you? That's it.
I think that that had a lot to do with it for me, like being in a musical family for sure. I mean, I wanted to be a film director when I was a kid until I was
Yeah,
about
I
10
remember
years
that.
old, and that's when I got really into music, and it's only been music for me since then, and I actually really don't have a choice now.
Right.
I don't have any sort of qualifications in
But do
any
you
other
feel you
areas.
don't have a choice as far as having qualifications, or you don't have a choice in the fact that this is
In
what
both.
you know you?
I mean, yeah, okay. I don't like that. I know that's what I'd like to do. It's a thing that I'm.
I mean, I know when
best
I was
at.
sort of 18, for me, I didn't have a choice purely because there was no other option.
Yeah,
I wanted to
same
be a
here.
musician.
Yeah.
I mean, no other, in the sense there were other options. You can always go do something.
Yeah.
You could work at McDonald's. You could do something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but
Yeah.
I just
And I
felt
thought
that's
about
what I
it.
was supposed to do.
I thought about working at McDonald's, and then I was like,
Once they did that,
In and out.
yeah. I was like,
too low mark.
pret-a-manger is
More
better
your
for the
sort of
worker
speed.
because you know.
And the same
I
thing.
know-
I
Yeah.
know you're also from a musical on your grandfather's side, I believe. But
Oh, yeah,
But-
my mom's side. I mean, it was sort of both because my mom really wanted to be a singer
right.
and then stopped and started directing instead. But it was like such a big regret of hers. I just didn't want that to happen to me.
Right.
But at the same time, it's really scary making that decision because so many people want to be musicians. It's just, you know.
Did you
it could
ever,
go
any
either
of you
way.
ever go through that period of like, I just don't want to do what my parents do?
Yeah, I don't ever want to be in the
I mean,
film or
in
TV
the sense
industry
of
ever.
Just because even though you end up doing effectively, especially, I mean, you and Sam, what your parents do, But did you ever go through that? I don't want to do that. That rebellious phase of in denial of any musical stuff because that's not what I
Well,
want
it's
to do.
funny because our parents' music is so different to our music, and when I was a kid, I remember loving. I went on tour a couple of times with my dad in Eurythmics, and I mean, I loved the soulfulness of. They were inspired by Aretha Franklin a lot, and the music that was around growing up. Like, I think like there was good music around growing up, so. I really picked up on that, and when I was a kid, I remember being like a pretty good singer. Like I would sing like Michael Jackson and Aretha Franklin for fun, because you just do it for fun, you know.
Right.
It's kind of like letting your soul out, and in a fun. I don't know how to explain it. Like you're jogging, someone might just want to sing. Like
No, I mean I
non-stop.
don't know. I understand it completely. And when I was thrown into the choir when I was 4. Purely because
Really?
all I would do, I wouldn't talk necessarily that much at home. I'd just sing all the time.
Yeah.
And so my mother said,
And then did your
go
grandparents just like, that's what really annoyed me, is when the family members like, sing us a song, and I'd be like, no.
Well, my grandmother, I mean, she was a pianist, so she would do that all the time. But it's but it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting whether you end up rebelling or it is in the DNA, or whether you just kind of, it's something in you. I mean, my grandmother was very musical. She actually played piano for silent movies.
Whoa,
I mean, that's a talent.
so
That's a talent
awesome.
in and of itself.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Like just a silent movie.
Because your voice.
I'm going to be the mood music behind
Oh wow.
this. Although I hated my grandmother,
But-
so
But I remember feeling slightly like bad about, not guilty or anything, but like just a bit like, oh, of course.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, of course I'm going to end up doing that. But there was really one moment where I was dancing to David Bowie and blasting Iggy Pop, and I became obsessed with glam rock, and I just wouldn't stop singing
So
at
doesn't
all.
show.
Really? Thanks. I mean, no. I love glam rock. But
let me take one last question. We should get on to the last song, and then actually I actually know the answer to this one about how you came up with your name, which was from a song, and Anthony, what was his name? Anthony?
His name's
Harwood.
Anthony Harwood.
Anthony Harwood, yes. I
Yeah.
say Anthony because it's such
Yeah.
an American thing, which actually was interesting. So I
We
was
don't-
waiting for the song in the first song you did, and can't remember the title of the song now, but I was wondering if it was actually in the song, whether that was just a mistake in the song, but you will dance, I will dance. And I was waiting to see if you actually did that, and that was intentional, which
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
first time it wasn't,
Yeah.
and then I...
It was
Now
like
it's
after that, I was like,
intentional.
I like that. Yeah, you're American, I'm English. You will dance, I will dance. You'll say karate, but anyway. So we should get on that. You have one more song. You will play us out with one more song, which is actually untitled.
Yeah.
Even though it kind of has a title.
Doesn't.
By the way-
title.
Has no title now.
It has no title now.
Yeah.
Stripped of its.
It has a title on YouTube.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does.
Oh.
Let's not talk about it.
You should actually put like untitled on it. Change it.
Yes.
Do that.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I wanted
Good
to
idea.
say Anthony Harwood, he completely
Oh, yes.
disappeared, and you
Nightmare on the
can't
Cat. I
find him
forgot.
anywhere.
No, I looked him up. I looked him up today, and I found some guy who plays guitar but is an agent with Ken Follett, the writer.
don't know what
But
that
he's
means.
American. And some 20-year-old from Australia who's trying to be a DJ. But I didn't find him anywhere else.
But if we get in trouble for it, we'll change it. But we just wanted to have it like an ode to him, because we thought he was like amazing, and his music was never heard, and that happens a lot now.
Happens a lot, yes. We're hoping to change some of that as
Hopefully.
music becomes more available to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish off with one more song from Nightmare on the Cat. You can... Oh God, I'm getting old. Oh, by the way, I forgot to thank Julie, and you forgot to thank Julie, by the way, who's here
Julie.
playing with you.
He was our bassist.
I have Julie's name tattooed on my arm, just in case you didn't know. But I do actually, yeah, right there.
Huh.
But I did that when I was 13. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, do you
I
know
tried to
how-
scrape it out after Julie finished with me.
No.
Yeah. So Julie is an easy name for me to remember. Anyway, you of course can watch us on the website strippeddownlive.com. You can go to our Facebook page. You can even like us on our Facebook page. You know, Elaine's a bit behind me. She's kind of going like, why not? I'd like to thank our incredibly underpaid crew and TriCaster for the show tonight. If our crew were more underpaid, they'd be paying me, if you know what I mean. And so a big thanks to them. And we're going to leave you with one more piece. Next week we have the Whiskey Saints. Whiskey Saints are here next week, 8 o'clock next Wednesday, live on Stripped Down Live. So a big thanks to Nightmare and the Cat, Django, Sam, Claire, and of course Julie. And we will see you next week. This is a untitled track from Nightmare and the Cats. We'll see you next week.
Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you so much. Okay. Ready? Is that mic? Ready? Slightly androgynous, not very smart. I hear your new record is climbing up the chart. Slap on your back for learning your craft. Slap in your face for cheating your heart. You fall off the wagon, you're caught in the harness. Horses are dragging your bony white carcass across the town, across the town, across the town. You thought you left behind. Like a terrible joke, cracking everyone up. It's not very funny, it sticks in my head. And I'm sorry, sorry, I'm sorry, sorry, I'm sorry I spoke out of line. I see you doing fine. 1 million televisions always flickering, your image animating every single screen. I hear you singing loudly, but I don't know what it means. It's turned into a game show, it's a terrifying dream. And all of your heroes will one day retire, leave you alone in your trendy attire. Dreaming, dreaming, you're dreaming of an empire. And yeah, you're doing fine with it, yeah. Because it happened by chance, leading sheep to a butcher, dancing a dance that determines your future. Horrible, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, but you're alive. Ooh, 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 still doing fine with it, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I see your face plastered to every corner, tainted the minds of our sons and our daughters. Crippling, astonishing, it's a punishing, but you don't think twice. Because a blossoming rose with a prickly stem is a fitting collation for newspaper men to write about, talk about, and scream about until they get tired. And yeah, you've made your connections in all the right places. Don't have to mention the visible traces. Bloodlust, stardust, and purpose dripping down your thigh. Still you're doing fine. since you woke me up, I gotta tell you, I feel so dead and it really hit the spot. Needed a slapping, and now I've had one. Well, since we're both awake, why don't we go out into the city, watch the people make every decision with tunnel vision can see. Nah, they can't see. The day is that like us, forever wanting, shamelessly haunting another pick me up, and then you feel it, the pins and needles you're free. Oh yeah, we're all so free. We live through our words, and they aren't so hard to say. I built you a world, and I can take that world away. With hurricanes of violent thoughts, floods of alcohol. 'Cause my sympathies lie with the fool who dwells within my skull. If you fly, I will fly. If you fall, I will fall. If you swim, I will swim. If you drown, I will drown. If you pray, I will pray. If you smile, I will smile. If you dance, I will dance. If you sing, I will sing a song about no one and nothing at all, nothing.
Thanks, guys. This next song is called Desert Air.
Some water. I'm really sorry, I didn't think about this before. My name's Django. Hey, water for Django. Thanks.
You ready?
Okay.
1, 2.
I feel her breathing on my head. Maybe something in the desert air. Pavements glisten, but the stars are dead. Maybe secrets hiding in her hair. You introduced me to the desert air. I felt that he was too cold. I look around and there's no one here but myself. I take my place upon the tainted throne. Take me to the place I've been finding for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. You must be sitting on a gold mine to build a castle on the fall line. It sends a shiver up and down my spine. Oh, yeah, it does. The way we're drowning in our spoiled wine of our time. Take me to the place I've been planning for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of. Take me to the place I've been planning for. Make me feel as if I'm indestructible. That's all I'm thinking of. That's all I'm thinking of.
Oh, and we're live. We're here. Welcome to Stripped Down Live. This week our guests are Nightmare and the Cat. I'm looking forward to tonight's performance. We've been spending time beforehand kind of chatting, and it's going to be amusing if nothing else. Tonight Nightmare and the Cat are playing sort of stripped down. I mean, they have a bunch of instrumentation, but believe me, the records are even bigger than this. And what I love about them most, actually, is their use of instrumentation. And you'll understand that when you see the show, when you see the instruments they use. So please welcome to the studio, Nightmare and the Cat.
Sarah woke me up 4 in the morning. Look at the stars and what they are warning us. Went through my head and over the mountains. I was in my bed, my body sleeping with pins and needles. I never used my head. What were you thinking? Well, I'm just living free. Well, are you living free? We live through our mouths, and they yawn so far apart. I built you a house in the hollow of my heart. You're burning out, and soon it will be dark. But my fuel is in your Dow, my fear is in your spark. If you fly, I will fly. If you fall, I will fall. If you swim, I will swim. If you drown, I will drown. If you fly, I will fly. If you fall, I will fall. If you swim, I will swim. If you drown, I will drown. Thank you very much. That song's Desert Air. Can they see that? Is that what they see? No. Okay.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Need to tune up my guitar. Sorry, internet peoples. Just give me a second.
How you all doing out there? How's it sound? Okay, great. And are people like talking in? Amazing. Thank you.
Are they
guys.
doing that like star clap star, like claps?
Really?
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much. This is
Yeah.
our first time playing.
I remember
live.
MSN Messenger. You'd be like, you know, removes shoes. The song's called The Missing Year.
I don't feel myself. This time it's not my health. Tore him apart again, 'cause I needed attention. I broke my heart yesterday just to make my way. You could have said it yourself, but don't communicate. I am the ghost of your reverie, but all you do is exercise me. A simple cog in your machinery, but you just won't recognize me. You just won't recognize me. You are the missing year that I just can't forget. Well, that rational fear, a modern suffragette. Well, hide your love away, a secret sanctuary. If you let me out of my cage, I promise I'll behave. I am the ghost of your reverie, but all you do is exercise me. A simple cog in your machinery, but you just won't recognize me. You just won't recognize me. Oh, ha, ooh, ha, ooh, ha, ooh, ha.
Come on and let it out. If that's what you're all about, pick me up and put me down. Let my ashes in the ground. Are you that ringing in my ear? With me, I'll always hear. Pick me up, put me down. Let my ashes in the ground. Come on and let it out. If that's what you're all about, pick me up and put me down. Let my ashes in the ground. Are you that ringing in my ear? With me, I'll always hear. Pick me up, put me down. Let my ashes
guess. But are you an American citizen yet? No.
I don't know.
No.
I can.
You're not.
I can vote.
You can vote?
Yeah.
I can. Well, I know you can vote.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Being
don't
the
think
American.
so.
Do you have an American passport?
No.
No. So
I do.
then you can't.
Cool.
Yeah. Sam can't.
Sorry, I keep
shit.
showing off.
Have you
Have I
voted?
voted? No.
Oh shit.
I
See, you didn't exercise